So we're here right now checking out the brand new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, and Samsung just did something that I genuinely didn't expect. And no, it's not just like another AI feature, but these guys are actually literally cooked. You won't be able to look away, literally. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is it's rounder, noticeably rounder. The edges have this softer curve to them, and honestly, kind of reminds me of comfort, like the word comfort, which is kind of weird. The design is much more rounder over on the edges and stuff, which is great because rounder edges make the phone feel more comfortable. Like one thing that I keep saying about my phones is like when I hold these phones that are especially like bigger, bro, like if they're like sharp edged, it actually pokes into your palm. So I'm happy about the curved edges, pretty nice. S26 Ultra comes in at 7.9 millimeters thin and 214 grams, which is actually 8% lighter than the S25 Ultra. On paper, that's whatever, but in hand, you actually feel it immediately. Dude, okay, it's supposed to be like 7% lighter or something like that, but this actually generally feels, this feels more than 7%. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. And even like, I don't know, these edges here, not just the corners, even the edges here are sharper than these ones. Like this just feels nice and contoured, more comfortable to hold in your hand. Also, okay, I don't know, what are we thinking about this camera island that Samsung's calling it right now? So this little thing over here, I actually kind of like it. It's a change of scenery after years of like having a similar camera bump situation. Changing it up a little bit, I'll take it. Also, happy to report we didn't lose the S Pen. In a world where everyone's turning back away from the S Pen, we still have the S Pen. Now, when they told me that they're putting like the whole privacy screen and everything on here, I was kind of worried about this, but glad to report that we haven't got rid of it. Okay, so color-wise, here are the 4 different hero colors. Okay, so let's quickly talk about these colors. Okay, so first up, we have the matte black, and honestly, it's always gonna be a timeless color, okay? This thing is absolutely gorgeous, seems super professional. If you're looking for that really like Batman looking, like matted out, really clean colorway, this is the one. Like, just look how clean this thing looks. Sheesh. Also, you'll notice all the sides and everything are all matted out, so the whole thing is like, it's like murdered out look. Now the next one we have is this ice blue. Now this one is, it's a little bit different. It's icy. It's like the blingy option, right? So if you're into like, if you're like the type of guy that likes wearing jewelry and stuff like that, and you like that Tiffany, if you got like a Tiffany blue watch or something like that, this thing will actually look sick with it. So it's a little more out there. It's like icy. A little more metallic sheen to it compared to the other colors for sure. Next you have the hero color, and I think this is like the violet. This thing is probably my favorite color, and it's the hero color as well, so I guess somewhat biased there. It also kind of matches what I'm wearing right now. This thing looks clean. It's like close to black. From some angles it almost even looks black if you take a look, but this thing is, it's clean, it's different. It's not like your regular matte black, so it has a little more character to it, but it still looks professional and sleek. Really nice color. Then you have the final colorway, which is your white. Now this one, interestingly, is the most two-tone color of the bunch, because all of the other colors, if you take a look, all of the other colors, their sides pretty much match the back for the most part, except the ice blue is a little bit different, but tough to tell. But with the silver one, you're gonna get the most two-tone of a look here. So you have like this plain white, and then it's silver on the sides here. So interestingly enough, if you did want a more two-tone looking device or phone, this is probably the way to go. Okay, so let's talk about who should exactly get which color. So first off, let's start with the hero color. Now, if you are somebody who likes to get the standout color of the year, the hero color, the one that, you know, that's on all the billboards and everything, the one where people can look and be like, okay, he has the new S26 Ultra. This violet is absolutely, it's stunning. It's a nice colorway. I would say you get that. The matte black, this is for all the Batman lovers out there. Like, you want that sleek, murdered out look. You want something that's like very clean, very professional. Let's say you're working corporate job or something like that. This thing just looks really nice. Maybe you don't want to throw a case on there, but one thing to note, this will probably show scratches more than other phones, because usually colors like this, when you ding them up, you drop them 1 or 2 times, you see those silver markings, which you won't see on these other 2 colors that we're just going to talk about. Same thing goes with the violet as well. You'll probably see the markings a little bit more. For this one, again, the person that should get the iced out blue version here, the Tiffany blue, of course, is the person that likes that little bit more bling. I think out of all the colors, this is the most blingiest, even compared to the white. So the type of person that would get this is somebody that wants their phone to stand out. You probably don't want to throw a case on here, so you can show off this colorway. It's really nice. And last but not least, the person that should get the white is somebody who wants that really clean and neat aesthetic you like doing like top-down shots of your everyday carry. You like visualize your everyday carry and you like put it on the table and stuff. Like if you like that, I think the white actually might be the move here, because that two-tone just goes so hard. Also, yeah, with like the S Pen and everything matching. Oh man, okay, this looks really cool. I think my favorite color, I'm gonna change it to the white this year, which is surprising because I don't know, that violet is really nice too. I don't know, what's your favorite color? Let me know.
All right, this is the one, the feature that I genuinely think might be the most underrated thing that Samsung has done in years. This thing now has a built-in privacy display.
Okay, so here's exactly what's happening. Okay, low-key, this is a really cool feature. It's like you still have that nice, vibrant, bright screen, but then the second you go ahead and turn on that privacy display, it's still there, but at an angle, boom, gone, nothing, just black. Sometimes like you're like sitting on like the subway, or you're sitting on the airplane, or you're like just, and then there's like a nosy person beside you. Like we've all had that experience, or we've all been that person as well. I mean, no, hey, I might have done it sometimes here and there. So this thing knows. So the second you're like kind of peeking, boom, gone. You're not gonna see nothing. This thing is genuinely impressive. And the way that it's working is that it's turning off like the diagonal pixels so that people on the side, like you can't see the phone from the side basically. The coolest part about this though, is the fact that you can actually customize how this works. So let me show you the settings, how that works. So you can toggle this on and off to have it on all the time, or you can also go ahead and do conditions. So you can turn it on just for certain applications. So let's say, for example, if you open up WhatsApp. So for example, now I've turned on WhatsApp. Boom, gone. You can't see. But the moment I leave WhatsApp, you can see the screen. Or you can even have it so that it triggers just on notification pop-ups. So if somebody texts you or something and the notification comes up here, just the notification will be blurred, but the rest of your screen will be fine. That, my friends, is a feature that you kind of wonder, why hasn't anybody else thought of this?
Subway commuters, open office workers, anyone with nosy friends, this feature is going to be a game changer for you. Samsung's cameras have been good for quite some time now, but the S26 Ultra is leaning into pro-level video in a way that actually matters.
So right off the bat, camera improvements, we got like a bunch here. So the main camera, now we're at f1.4 aperture, and then the telephoto is at like 2.9.
For anyone not deep into camera specs, it means that this thing is going to let in a lot more light. And more light hitting the sensor means you're going to have better quality video overall with better depth of field. You're going to have better video and photos at nighttime. And things are just going to look a lot cleaner when the light isn't perfect. The 5x telephoto also got an upgrade this year to f2.9.
Okay, but here's where things get a little bit nerdy, especially if you're into like video and stuff. So this thing now can record video in APV, Advanced Professional Video Codecs. And that means 8K lossless recording in HQ and LQ modes in 422 10-bit. Like this thing is basically gonna make all video recorders very happy. So
now look, will most people actually use APV? Honestly, no. But the fact that it exists on a phone in your pocket and you don't need like an external SSD or anything like that is kind of wild.
Okay, so one of the most annoying things when you're recording on like any camera actually, even on like my FX3 that I'm filming this on right now, is the moment like if I'm recording on my phone, right? And let's say I'm like recording this way, but when I go like this, it changes the entire perspective to like landscape. And what Samsung has done now is, it makes me realize why hasn't anybody else done this, but it's like a horizon lock. Basically what you can do is go ahead and like, let's go into video, you go into horizontal lock. Once I start recording, look at that. It doesn't change, it still locks the perspective. And it doesn't change up on me. So if I go like this, I'm still recording.
Now Photo Assist also got a huge upgrade, and you can now type a description up to 100 characters and the phone will generatively edit your photo to match your description. So take a look at this example that I just did here.
Okay, so we first took a photo of that, me doing a hands up thing. I'm gonna take a quick photo of this couch. Or actually, let's do this table. Okay. Now I'm gonna go in here. Can you place me a handstand? No way! That's so cool. Okay, zoom in on this. Save copy. Yo, it even took my shoes off.
That is genuinely cool. I was blown away.
Okay, now let's talk about everybody's favorite topic, AI. Okay, so I know a lot of times now companies are trying to find problems for the solution, but Samsung's done a few things here which make me actually go, okay, you know what, this is actually pretty useful. Right? For example, Now Nudge. Now, this is kind of like, it works across, not only in Samsung's ecosystem, so you can actually use this across different apps and stuff. So it's smart enough to know certain things. So if you're talking to somebody and you're like, hey, I'm headed to this restaurant, and it'll just pull up your reservation on the side, and so you can just send that off. Another real cool thing is now you can have circle to search. And it's like 3.0, you can like circle the whole thing and it'll search everything in that. So let's do a fit check right now. Hey, Siobhan, can I get a full fit check? Okay, so we got his photo. So now we're gonna open that up. Okay, boom, now we can circle the whole fit. Yeah, so you can pull up like their jacket, you can pull up like their pants and everything like that. Oh, Rick Owens, yeah, pulls up shoes. And another really cool thing is, and you can decide whether this is chaotic or if it's actually really beneficial, is now we have 3 AIs that you can actually reference in this. So you have the Bixby, you have Gemini, and now you also have access to Plex. I actually use Perplexity for like search and everything like that. I find it very nice. So it'll be interesting to see how that's integrated in here, but you can literally say, hey, Plex, and pull it up as well. And finally, call screening is now also available on the S26 Ultra. So no more, we've been trying to reach you for your car's extended warranty. Samsung just hangs up on them. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm here right now to actually unpack, and we're getting like hands-on time with the actual device. So let me go ahead and tell you in conclusion, what are the main differences here? So there's pretty much 5. One is privacy display. We've walked through that and how it's very customizable. I like it. No resolution change, but yeah, privacy display. Number 2, you have the internals with the faster, 21% better thermal dissipation and with the bigger vapor chamber and everything. More RAM with 16 gigs of RAM on the higher end models, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, and same battery but faster charging. Number 3, we have the camera differences, which is the APV codec that you can record in for video. You have a better aperture on the sensor on the camera lenses. You're gonna have better nighttime photography, videography, and just a little bit more depth of field. And you have that Horizontal Lock with super steady video. Number 4, we have the AI differences. So you now have Plex as well built in. So Bixby, Plex, and Gemini. And you have like the Circle to Search 3.0 and like Now Nudge and whatnot. So there's some AI differences there too. And last but not least is the actual design, which is, I think, arguably a very nice quality of life upgrade here, because you have the smoother edges and you have the smoother corners, which just makes the phone more comfortable to hold. And you have it slightly thinner, although not that noticeable, but when you actually hold it in your hand, it feels like a nice complete device. And of course, now you have the camera island, slight change in how the design looks and feels. But overall, I think those are pretty much it. Now, the question is, do you think it's worth an upgrade? Here's the thing, I don't think you're convincing any iPhone users to maybe switch to the S26 Ultra. I'm just gonna be honest. I think the Fold 7 is much more of an incentive for like an iPhone user to switch, because it's just like a foldable, it's different, it's cool, it's unique, it's a different experience. But with this, I don't know, that's a tough proposition. But if you were to try Android and you're switching to Android from iPhone and you wanna try any phone, I honestly think the S26 Ultra is probably like your best bet, because this thing is just, it's such a complete phone. But if you had the S25 Ultra, does this warrant a change? Honestly, I don't think so. I think if you have the S25 Ultra, it's quite similar. If you had an older Samsung device, I think this is a solid phone to jump to. It's the most complete phone Samsung's made. Arguably, the biggest difference with this phone compared to many other Android phones or even the iPhone is how integrated the AI can get with this, because Samsung's doing a great job integrating Gemini with Bixby and everything, like the processing and everything like that. But yeah, I think the Samsung is a solid phone. Also, plus, I keep forgetting to mention this is a very nice to have as well. That being said, I do wish we had the camera control again with the S Pen, but I don't know if we'll get that back. Overall, my first impressions? I'm pretty impressed with this phone. I like it. Color-wise, I think I'm gonna go with a Hero color this year. I think it actually looks really nice, really clean looking device, very professional and yeah, very complete. Now, the only question that I have in my mind is how does the camera on that compare to the camera on like the iPhone? I think I'm gonna be doing a video on that one. So again, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel. If you guys thought this video was helpful, hit the like button. I'll see you guys. I'm filming like an entire week in the life. There's a lot of cool creators here. We're doing a lot of cool stuff. So make sure you guys are subbed so you can watch that video. And we're doing a bunch more content with the Samsung. So make sure you guys are following. Until then, I'll see you guys in one of these 2 videos here. Take care, stay blessed, peace. Yeah, he's doing the same thing, bro. This guy. He keeps trying to throw off my my filming. Every time Siobhan comes in the room, you gotta watch out. He threw off my intro too. You're Siobhan. This event is for the S26, bro, not for the iPhone. This guy's just filming everything on the iPhone.